Use the Event Types program to set up the parameters associated with the types of events that you will be holding. Select New to create a new event type, or select an existing event type to review or make edits to it. In the General tab, enter a description for the event type, and ensure the active field is flagged so that this event type can be associated with an event. Select the event type group. These are also created in your Jonas Activity Management System, and the options will typically be something like events and banquets. Next, select the event format of registration required for registration event types, or banquet/conference/meeting for non-registration event types. Events that require registration can bill multiple members, whereas banquets are billed to one individual. When creating an event, sections of the screen and tabs are enabled/disabled based on the event format. If choosing to require registrations, select whether to identify registrants. Set the default registration screen to use when creating events. You can use registration identification, which requires registrants to be identified, or quick registration, where registrants do not need to be identified. And set the default wait priority. Optionally add an event type background color. This can be handy to color code event types to assist with distinguishing events by type within the calendar and facility views. Once configured, the background color of all events of that type will appear with a specified background color. Use the Stages tab to select the appropriate stages for this event type. To select a stage, either double-click on the stage, or select the stage and use the right arrow. The stage at the top of the list on the right-hand side will become the default when an event is created. Use the up and down arrows to change the order of the stages. Cancelled and one of any of the other associated event statuses must be added to an event type. The Staff tab is used to identify which employees can be associated with the event type. Turning on the eligibility for an employee allows that employee to be added to an event of this type. The Tasks tab allows for the entry of tasks that are specific to this event type. A task requires a description, the selection of a task group, days and hours indicating the lead or lag time depending on the direction indicating if a task is to be performed either before or after the event, the priority, and the active flag. Typical examples are setup and teardown tasks. In the Event Extra Info tab, you can add information to be captured when creating an event. Basically, anytime you have a given event type that might have many optional things, use Event Extra Info to further characterize the event. For instance, if it's a card night event, meal included might be good extra info, so that staff running the event know that this card night will include a meal. To add an Event Extra Info field, enter a description and assign the type field, which dictates how this extra info will be answered. Enter a length when required, based on the type field, and enable the active flag to use this info when creating an event of this type. If the mandatory flag is enabled, this field must be answered when adding to an event of this type. Optionally flag to have this field included in event forms. If a list type is selected, an additional entry area will appear on the right to allow for value entries. The Registrant Extra Info tab is similar to the Event Extra Info. However, these fields are captured during the registration process for registrants. This tab will only be enabled if the event format is set to registration required. Use the Facilities tab to flag which facilities are eligible to accommodate this event type. Use the Checklist Info tab to flag which predefined checklists are eligible to be used for this event type. You also have the option to set a default checklist. The Forms tab lets you override default forms originally defined in event settings by restricting this event type to selected forms. The Calendar Information tab allows you to override the information originally defined in event settings. These settings allow you to determine what information will display on the event tiles that appear on the Event Management Calendar screen. For more information, watch the video titled Display Calendar Information. Once you have completed the setup for the event type, select Save, and repeat this process to set up each applicable event type. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more how-to videos, and don't forget to subscribe.